But in the meantime, let's get through these other messy topics. Because, as I always say, another day, another diddler story. So the diddler is being accused yet again of abuse, this time by none other but than Kirk Burrows, who, used to be a co-owner of Bad Boy Entertainment. And, he's already filed a lawsuit. The last time we talked about Kirk Burrows on the show was probably like maybe an episode or two ago, where he's basically suing the diddler's mother, Madam Janice. That's what I'm starting to call her now, because that's where Diddy learned his pimpation situation from. Had to have been from her and them dry ass, Uhura wigs that she be wearing. Remember when Uhura, shout out to Nichelle Nichols, remember when she played a pimptress in those old blaxploitation? I can't remember the name of the movie, but I always be seeing the clips online, and she be giving me my life. The way she be slapping around them little white prostitutes, and then she be cussing people. I can't remember the name of that, but y'all know what I'm talking about with her. If you ever see the clips online, it is always a cackle. But nevertheless, now Kirk Burrows is coming out, and he's throwing shade at the diddler. So on Friday, well, I should say Kirk Burrows, co-founder and former president of Bad Boy Entertainment, has filed a lawsuit against the diddler, accusing him of deeply disturbing pattern of SA, violence and intimidation spanning more than a decade. Now, the complaint filed in New York by Burrows' lawyer Tyrone Blackburn alleges years of predatory behavior, creating a toxic environment of coercion, fear, and psychological manipulation. So on February 28th, Burrows' lawyer filed an 18-page complaint against his former business partner in New York, alleging years of predatory actions towards him and an overall fostering of a toxic environment of coercion, fear, and psychological manipulation. This is according to court documents obtained by People. So in the complaint, Combs, who's 55, is accused of subjecting Burrows to repeated sexual harassment, physical aggression, and forced compliance with degrading acts, including unwanted sexual advances such as nudity, sexual overtones, voyeurism, and acts of exhibitionism, some of which took place during what he had believed to be business meetings. The longtime music mogul is accused of escalating the campaign of control, resorting to physical violence, blackmail, career sabotage, and financial extortion, which the complaint alleges included forced coercion so Burrows would give up 25% ownership stake in Bad Boy Entertainment, which we talked about on the last episode, but all this extra stuff didn't come out then. It was basically focused on his case towards Janice and saying that how his 25% share was given to her when he helped build Bad Boy Entertainment back when his ass got fired over there at Uptown Records. So now, Burrows previously filed a suit against Combs over an alleged 1996 incident in 2003, but the earlier complaint was eventually dismissed. So here's the thing: when everybody, well, why didn't you file then? Why did you do this? Well, look, he filed the suit 20 damn years ago, but the earlier complaint was dismissed. So now he's back at it again. I guess now because there's so much about Diddy out now, he feels that maybe this time people will actually listen to me now that I'm filing it again. Now, Burrows' February 28th complaint comes 2 days after he filed an additional legal action against Combs' mother, Janice Combs, claiming she unlawfully took control of his 25% stake in Bad Boy following Combs' alleged threat of physical violence. In it, he claimed that Combs' mother knowingly participated in a fraudulent scheme to obtain 100% control of Bad Boy Entertainment and carefully maintain a facade of integrity, portraying herself as an innocent bystander while orchestrating plaintiff's financial and professional downfall behind the scenes, per court documents obtained by People. Now, in a statement to People, Combs' legal team said this latest lawsuit filed by Kirk Burrows, filed by none other than Tyrone Blackburn, is another frivolous attempt to relitigate claims that have been repeatedly thrown out of court over the past 30 years. Well, I'm surprised they actually switched it up with their complaint, because every now and again, they like to put out the same damn post and the same tight ass story in regards to people who be accusing Diddy of all the things that they've accused him to. Diddy probably gonna, even if he were to get off, which I don't think he will, I'm still standing 10 toes down on that. This man is gonna be wrapped up in litigation for the rest of his damn life with all these people coming after him, with all these court cases. I've lost count of how many cases that he's got. And we got another one that we got to talk about coming up too, somebody who was a part of the Bad Boy roster. But let's get through this one first. So now, despite repeated dismissals, Burrows and Blackburn are intent on wasting the court's time and resources by refiling dismissed claims and now dragging Mr. Combs' 80-year-old mother into this. This is what they added into their rebuttal against what Kurt and his lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, are putting out here in the streets. Now, the new filing against Combs, which cites New York Gender Motivated Violence Act, New York City's, I should say, Gender Motivated Violence Act, marks another in a series of allegations against a musician who has been accused by more than a dozen people of sexual misconduct, which he has denied. Now, Combs is also facing federal criminal charges, such as sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution, in which he has pleaded not guilty. The music mogul is being held at the Metropolitan Center in Brooklyn, blah, 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 blah. We already know he's going to be there till May. So, yeah, so he gonna be there for a while though, and that's Kurt Burrows looking Diddy looking all upset. He looked mad. Why you mad though? Why you mad though? Now the complaint states that Burrows served as both the chief operating officer and general manager of Bad Boy following his development in the 90s. It alleges that Combs engaged in sexual coercion and exhibitionism in the workplace between 1992 and 1994, allegedly forcing Burrows to watch as he engaged in sexual acts with employees, interns, prospective artists, and third parties at the Bad Boy Entertainment office, reinforcing his control through humiliation and intimidation. Chad, well, who was the prospective artist? I want to know that. See, Combs would allegedly summon his associate under false pretenses via the company's intercom, per the complaint, having Burrows into a room where Combs would allegedly be receiving a professional or engaging in other lewd acts. That would be another word I use for baloney wash, which the filing calls his attempt at psychologically breaking down plaintiff's resistance and establishing his submission and Diddy's dominance. I added that last part in. Now, they said he would make inappropriate and sexually suggestive remarks about Burrows' body and also claim that Burrows being present for his sexual activities was part of the culture of the entertainment industry and a requirement for success. The complaint claims that such actions escalated to physical coercion and forced submission between 1995 and 1996. Now, this includes a 1995 business trip where Combs alleged to have demanded Burrows watch him pleasure himself, another incident in late 1995 where Combs allegedly pinned him down onto the bed and simulated intercourse until he skated. You know, I'm having to change words up in here, and other allegations of him grabbing his associate's package. And I ain't talking about the one from Amazon. Now, he also alleged to have requested Burrows give him a handy J, a BJ, and to use objects, child, not in the poop shoe. He said, and to use objects on him in the poop shoe. Let me find out Diddy likes it in the bud. Yes, what? I don't know why I'm acting surprised. Yeah, and you know, as I quote Little Kim, when I do that. So now he also alleged to have requested, oh, I already read that part. Now, elsewhere in the complaint, child, it's a lot. I'm not laughing for the, you know, I'm just saying it's a lot. Elsewhere in the complaint, Combs is again accused of having stormed into Burrows' office with a baseball bat in an effort to get him to sign over his 25% stake in Bad Boy Entertainment, Inc., or face violent repercussions. Burrows then signed away his ownership stake without receiving any financial compensation in 1996, with Combs allegedly have taken active measures to erase his legacy at the company. Burrows also accused Combs of post-termination harassment and blacklisting, taking place as recent as 2022. He is alleged to have been personally contacting industry execs, warning them against working with plaintiff and labeling him as untrustworthy. Did not say that that's what he was doing. That it was like, that's probably why his career suffered and why he was out here saying that he was homeless, because Diddy was somebody who was at the top of the food chain in regards of like the whole hip hop space, whether you liked his music or what he was about and the whole pomp and circumstance of it all. Diddy was one of the most powerful people in hip hop, and people go where the money resides. So you want to take this man's word over a Kurt Burrows, who people don't really know and aren't familiar with as a big name. So I could just go out and say anything and ruin your career. It happens all the time. So, And additional accusations in the complaint are more recent, including a claim that Combs' security details surrounded and threatened him around 2013 and 2014 in New York City before Combs allegedly grabbed his booty cheeks and pulled them closely to his body to simulate a bear hug, and another alleged incident that took place at Diana Ross' birthday party in 2019. Now, upon seeing plaintiff, Combs aggressively grabbed him, forcefully restraining him in the same fake bear hug that he did years prior, the complaint alleges. As was the case in the 90s and early 2000s, Combs seized the opportunity to degrade plaintiff by grabbing him close, slapping him on his rear end, and daring plaintiff to do something about it. Combs then proceeded to grope plaintiff in an overt attempt to assert dominance over him, humiliating plaintiff in the presence of others. Now, Burroughs' complaint against Combs, filed on February 28th, ultimately alleges a history and propensity for violence, with Burroughs requesting a jury trial and seeking to be provided with redress for the physical, emotional, and financial devastation inflicted upon him. So, yeah, there you have it. That is the okay. So now Diddy and Janice with her placid looking face or whatever don't want to come over. I was trying to see, don't I have oh yeah, I do have that. So yeah, let me put that up there. So if y'all out here being assaulted and all this other stuff, definitely call this number. You know, I always try to do my due diligence when it comes to the supporting of the people and what's going on in these streets. So yeah, there's that. And I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops, because child, Diddy, you a whole ass mess. And why is it that even though, you know, some people are like, oh yeah, I'm just making it up, whatever. No, I believe it. The many stories I heard about Diddy, I don't put nothing past that man. Now, I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? This is the latest development. You got Kirk Burroughs out here finally trying to get his just due because, you know, he's been taken advantage of for the past 30 years. And Diddy, while he thrived, he had that man threaten him, basically trying to pull a Suge Knight and have him sell over 25% of his shares so that way he can give it and keep it within his family while everybody else suffers. We've seen many times throughout the careers of the many people who have signed up to be a part of the Bad Boy roster or register, whatever you want to call it, that they walked away with little to nothing. They residuals or you know, the publishing rights and all the stuff that they have for their music is worth nothing these days. So I don't put nothing past Diddy up in here doing things as a way of intimidation and to actually show dominance. Because here's the thing, when it comes to abuse of any kind, sexual or whatever, it's not about pleasure. It's about power. It's about trying to be like, yeah, I am the alpha male in this room and you ain't shit. You gonna bow down to me and you gonna do what I say. And I'm gonna make sure that I got you up against the ropes and there's nowhere for you to go. So I don't know why people don't have a problem like trying to address this. Is like the same people that's in the Trump cult. This man has been accused of so many things and now still worship the ground that man walking on. I think he can't do no damn wrong. So I'm not putting none past this stuff, but like I said, he's putting all this together. He wants a jury trial, and we'll see if the judges, you know, once they dot all the I's across all the T's, if this actually will go to court, and we'll just take it from there. And I'll keep you guys abreast of that story as it develops. So I want to hear from you all in regards to this story. So whatever your thoughts are, definitely y'all know what to do. Hit me down in the comments right down below.